Alright, so I'm going to be talking today about Project Fused. Project Fused is an initiative focused on retaining and nurturing millennials. The thing I want you all to take away from this is that no connection means no collaboration. And that's what exists in the city right now. There's no connection between the millennials and the businesses, and there's no collaboration. So nobody's moving forward in any of the directions that we would like to move. Basically, the problem is simple. Detroit has problems. We've got a lot of things going on right now, and it takes some new leadership, some new ideas to make things move forward. There are a lot of people who are graduating with degrees who need something to do. College sometimes prepares you to go work for somebody else, but sometimes you have an idea, you have a mission, you have a dream, you have a vision, you have a goal that you can progress and turn into something that could actually solve, a community issue in your area. So Project Fused, or Fusing Detroit, serves the purpose of resolving some of those issues in a threefold type of system. Don't know what's going on there, but we'll move on. The solution is threefold. The first part is serving as a resource hub for youth workers and future youth workers. The second is working with Detroit businesses to form better connections between them and the youth. And the third being working diligently on changing the image problem that Detroit has obtained. So that's a gist of it. And these three we found to be the basic issues that we really need to work on. There are other things that we could spend a lot of time and really develop further, but this is what we really need to focus on. By having that resource hub, it would be a place for youth workers and potential youth workers to connect with businesses that offer opportunities that are youth related. We'd be able to identify businesses that have a youth focus, who are focused on, projecting their business and making sure that their business exists in the future by bringing in that young talent, that youth idea. The first part of that threefold process is the hub, which is the interactive component, which actually happens on the web. It'll be our web interface, our website or whatever. And the purpose of that are making connections with youth in the city, informing youth that there are job opportunities in Detroit for them, and posting job listings. We do have a buy-in right now from a lot of colleges, but specifically from software companies, especially Nacelink, who does a resume type of system for colleges and post-secondary education institutions, where all of the students can actually post their resumes while they're in school, and businesses, as they're maturing through school, can actually be connected to businesses long before the need for internships, long before the need to go out for externships if you're going into the medical field, or to have to go out and find things on your own. Businesses are coming where you are, so they come into your home finding you based on the skills you've told them that you have. The second is our team interface, which focuses on establishing relationships with businesses. Sometimes it's hard to make that cold call. Sometimes you don't want to call a business and say, hey, are you guys hiring? That's a lot for somebody to do. But the purpose of Team Fuse is to have millennials in place who do that for you. They'll connect with businesses, local, larger, small, even entrepreneurs who are starting something in your be it library, at home, or your phone. On your feet, if you can do it, get to the internet and you'll be able to actually connect with businesses to find out exactly what they have. Now I know in some of our discussions today, yesterday, we were talking about unpaid internships. Some of the fields you're going into in school don't offer paid internships, but you need the experience. This is a way to connect to those unpaid internships, so when you go to an interview, you're not disqualified because you don't have the experience. You can draw lots of people who can sing, lots of people who are talented. We want to use all of that energy to repurpose the idea of what Detroit is. People only know what Detroit is because the media is telling our story. We need to stop them from telling our story and tell our own story. So the purpose of this will allow us to tell our own story. And in conclusion, Detroit needs us just as much as we need it. Let's get to work. Thank you.
From the 1900s, who once said, there is a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. Through this competition, ACE will walk Detroit's path of reforming the youth to become millennials. ACE, what is it? What is ACE? ACE will assist youth between the ages of 5 to 24. ACE program identifies and develops strategies addressing the needs of at-risk youth and underprivileged youth through the summer and after-school programming. At-risk youth and underprivileged youth includes those who are dropping out of school and leaving the Detroit area. I know yesterday we talked about a lot of people that's leaving the Detroit area and kids are dropping out. So with this program, this will help assist and keep the youth inside the Detroit area. ACE consists of 3 components. The first one is intervention. The intervention component will assist youth between the ages of 5 to 10 in the areas of education, life skills, music, recreation, and sports, and more. The progression component will assist youth between the ages of 11 and 14 in the areas of education, leadership, entrepreneurship, and more. The attainment component will assist youth between the ages of 14 to 24. This area for attainment will actually tackle the employment issues that we have in Detroit. It will give some of the kids that are between the ages of 14 to 17 some job experience and more. They will be youth coordinators, site coordinators, program liaison, program administrators as well. ACE will be able to sustain through fiduciary, inner city youth group, youth voice with social engagement and community organizing, Abandoned Lutheran Church through the operating the program out of the location. Wynn Resource Center will assist with tutoring, and Northeast Guidance Center will assist with transportation. And as we noticed, we have a lot of, I guess, statistics for Detroit, and I have named several on the slides, and one of them is the high school graduation rate, and our unemployment rate for the last couple years has been low, but it's actually improving just a bit. And with our social media, of course, I don't know if you all know Arise Detroit, but Arise Detroit sends out a lot of media blasts around the city about things that's going on. And that is one of the resources that we use in Detroit, is through email, through text messages, and more. And so I stand before you today and say, yesterday was a mystery, today is the president, and tomorrow's the future for Detroit millennials. Vote ACE as your project of choice. Thank you.
We are presenting Student Voice from the classroom to the Capitol. My name is Michael Kulik. I'm a professional communicator. I specialize in web development and design and nonprofit communications.
And my name is Chelsea Gallagher. I'm the founder of the Students for Education Reform chapter at Michigan State University. And next year I will be teaching in a Detroit classroom through the Teach for America core program. And basically what we are here to address is the problem of a lack of student voice in policy discussions about education that are directly impacting Detroit students. Working in Lansing, we recognized this early on, that there weren't any students in the rooms that these people are talking about with the future of the education system. And as I'm preparing to transition to Detroit, I really want to invest in that student voice and listen to that student voice. I've been talking with some high schoolers who have had some not so great experiences with Teach for America teachers just because there's a lack of connection and interaction. So we'd like to address this problem.
And how we're going to address this problem is to build and empower a student voice website here in Detroit that creates an investment and empowerment in educational policymaking. And our idea is for a community forum website that will enhance, create discussion in a safe and responsible manner.
And so the first process of getting this project on the ground is to learn about the environment and about the students that we're trying to empower through our website. This involves talking to legislators and figuring out what impacts their policy decisions, talking to other organizations who are representing different voices in the conversation, and also talking to students and connecting with organizations that are working with students already, because they already have that relationship and that connection.
And after we do our initial research and engagement, the next step is to build, but to build sustainably. So to take the coalitions and partnerships that we can create and enhance that and use students' input to create a website that they want to be on, something that they find extremely exciting. They can tweet about it, they can post about it, they want to share. People want to be on the site, and students in particular We want to make a space that's safe, like I said before. So it's not just a space where complaining, it's a place to grow with guided moderation. I currently serve as project manager for the Mid-Michigan Program for Greater Sustainability as a moderator, so I have a pretty good amount of experience in how to create good discussion topics, ask the questions that need to be asked, make sure you kind of keep the name calling and politicking to a minimal, and make sure that you're building something that works now and can continue to grow and work in the future.
And so after we have learned about what's on the ground, what students need, and developed a site that can help them speak and have their voice heard, we need to share this information and share their ideas. And this involves our Students for Education Reform chapter at Michigan State reaching out to legislators and introducing them to our program, bringing them reports about the ideas that these students have generated and what these students are saying they need in the policy, and also developing or also sharing this information with other organizations that are working with legislators and kind of opening up a dialogue and introducing the student voice to the discussion that's already going on to create solutions that include student needs as well as other needs like teachers and administrators.
And just like any good program and organization, the last step is to act and to build that coalition as a full and honest grassroots movement to take to Lansing, to take to policymakers, to take to City Hall, and be able to say, look, this isn't just one classroom, this isn't just the teachers union, this is a whole community, this is the students and it's their own voice on what they need in the classroom, what they want to see from their teachers, what kind of programming do they want to see, what type of extracurriculars do they want to see, and actually have full, honest action with the policymakers and our coalition in Lansing, in Detroit, and to create something that is a sustainable model that makes it so that people want to know and be involved in the program.
We believe that the potential social impact for this project is monumental. We can immediately change the direction, yesterday we were talking about it's easy to change direction, but we got to move the train backwards. By introducing student voice, we can innovate the way that policy is created and make sure that we are addressing what Detroit students need directly through our policy that we're creating, so that they have a voice in what's going on. And so we hope that you believe in our idea and vote for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, good morning. My name is Duran Miller and I'm kind of unique. I'm a guidance counselor here in the city at a high school at Central, and I'm also a therapist, so I get to see the psychological issues that a lot of us have here in Detroit. And it came to my office one day, one of those psychological issues, and I want to share a little bit of a story with you. A young black female, high school age, reminds me of many of the young ladies in here. And she came to my office and said, Duran, I want to be a nurse. And I'm like, that's cool, where did you get that from? So she gave me some perspective. My cousin's a nurse, I have an auntie who's a nurse. So I wanted to play with her mind a little bit, and I pulled her transcript. And I noticed that she was the second in her class. She's a junior. So next year, she's a big dog. She'll be a senior, and the school is hers. The world is hers. So I messed with her mind a bit. I said, you know what, Janet? You can be a doctor. And it got quiet in my office. And I got a little nervous once it gets quiet. It got quiet, and then she smiled. And she said, Mr. Miller, no one ever told me that. And then I got sad, and I started to tear up. Because I used to work in Ann Arbor, and the kids would come to my office and tell me they wanted to be doctors. And they wanted to be surgeons, and they wanted to do heart surgery. This young lady was told that she could be a nurse, and there's nothing against nurses. My mom was a nurse before she became a doctor. And that's true. And so I told her, and so she told me, she said, Mr. Miller, why did my parents tell me I could be a doctor? 10 seconds of silence in my office. I'm freaking out. I'm a pretty cool character, but I'm freaking out in my office. This 17-year-old's questioning me, why did my mom tell me this? I looked her straight in her face and I said, it's my fault. I'm to blame. Don't blame your parents. Blame me. So when I said that, I started playing with my own mind. I'm like, I'm in trouble now. I put my own feet to the fire. another counselor with myself. She leads 4 of us. And I said, we've made a mistake. We're trying to help kids without reaching their parents. It was like one of those duh moments, like, how are you going to help a kid and you're not talking to their parents about their own career goals and aspirations and wishes and dreams? The parents need to have access to their own career goals. And we found out in conclusion that the parents are disconnected. Well, time to connect them, and that's why we're here. How are we going to do that? I don't even know where I'm at on this thing, but we'll go forward. The question is, how can we access these parents? Well, I got all the phone numbers. There's 600 kids at Central. I could dial them up right now if I wanted. So we have access. Also, later this fall, there's a Detroit College Night where we'll have access to another 600 or so parents and students. Keep in mind, this is about getting the kids going to college, but when you access the parents, the research says if parents are connected with their own goals, they'll be connected with their child's goals as well. I'm like, why didn't we think about this before? It makes perfect sense. So what do we need to do with the parents? How are we on time, by the way? 1 minute, perfect. So what do we need to do with the parents? We need to do what we do with their kids in the school. We need to do the same thing to them. So for instance, we need to do a parent, what do we need to do? A parent career assessment. So give the parents assessment to know what their dreams are, what they're good at, what their interests are, the interest inventory. We also need to, I don't want to take the kids on any more field trips. I do, but we do that all the time. The parents need to come with us on field trips. I got connections with every university in Michigan. They'll let us stay overnight for free. It's a no-brainer. Lastly, this is what I'm good at. I'm that counselor. I can counsel parents. I can tell them what they need. Parents are like, Mr. Miller, my 16-year-old son doesn't like me. He ain't supposed to like you. He's got an identity crisis. I can help counsel those parents through that identity crisis. I got like 10 seconds. You guys can read the rest. Social impact. We're in the neighborhoods. We're in the hood. Linwood and Tuxedo. It don't get more hood than that. Sustainability. We're making it happen, baby. I got connections with Wayne State counseling teams. I got interns at Wayne State who need hours. I'm qualified to supervise them. I have a therapy license. Third, social media. Parents marketing to parents. They don't want to hear my story. I got to stop you, read the last one. They don't want to hear my story. They want to hear the successful parents preach to them. I don't have to preach anymore. I'm done.
Start this presentation. I want to just take about 15 seconds. As you can see here, we have another member of our team. Unfortunately, he's not here because Friday morning he had a sugar attack. Okay, and so we decided that we was going to still go on with the presentation regardless. Okay.
We're going strong with them in our prayers.
No doubt. All right. We are Project Renewed Promise. We chose that title because it has a lot to do with our recommitment to the city. Okay. We know now that. All right. First of all, our objectives is to address the needs of the community by providing a pathway to self-sufficiency, intergenerational unity, and promoting industry. We will address the issues by promoting urban agriculture, which will include your typical urban garden. Now you can see this is me. I wanted to show you that I can do it.
Y'all see that cabbage right there? Ain't gonna get no cabbage like that from the grocery store.
Okay. And the cultivation of silkworms and the production of honey. Okay.
All right, next we have here is our U.S. drought monitor.
The big reason why we're doing this is because we have become fully, we recognize that drought has encased most of the breadbasket of the United States, where we get most of our wheat, corn production from.
Exactly.
Before we even begin to think about gardening, we have to test the soil. Because Detroit, unfortunately, has, throughout Detroit, has a high level of lead in soil. Now, we did a small budget here this is a lead soil testing kit. The approximate price for a cheap one, so to speak, about $35. The rain barrel to collect the rain for the rainwater, about $75. And we know the seeds and tools may vary because all we need for the seeds is to buy the vegetable once. As long as it has the seed, we can produce it over and over and over again. Silkworms. How many people like silk? I mean, come on now.
Come on, people. Your intimates is made out of this.
Okay. All right. As we know, the silkworm, it is a worm. All right. And what we have learned and uncovered is that silkworms, one cocoon,
just one
cocoon, can produce 100 to 300 meters of fine thread. That fine thread that you like to feel all on your skin. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so we have the cultivation of silkworms are easy. You can, you got the mulberry bush, which is, that's the regular diet for it. And so you can even start it in like a cake pan. Okay? Yes. Well, and you can see here, we have a bunch, so it's a cheap startup. Okay? Cheap startup. 50, you get 50 small silkworms, 100, 15, 250 for 32, and so on and so on. And see, this is for the production of clothing. All right, this is to promote industry in those regards for people who may not have those type of clothes. You know what I'm saying? So. All right, so
beekeeping.
We know.
Who doesn't want to get stung by one of these?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, why beekeeping, you might ask? Just think of everything honey's in. You know that fine olive oil and stuff to make skin feel real nice?
That's right.
Replace it with real honey. Do the same thing. Just stickier. So we got some products that's made with it. You see our cosmetics, our boots, our sweeteners, food, of course. What is the world without food? In order to get this started, we have to have the Michigan Beekeepers Association along with us. So we need them in order to take classes with them. It's like generally $35 maybe. This right here is our example of a beehive and what it looks like and how we will use it. And this is of course our budget.
Cheap.
Containers are going to be mason jars. Cheap, cheap. So we got this. But in addition to everything, we would like to formally thank you guys for just listening to us.
This is my career. This is what I want to do. This is my career goal and everything in my life. And it is called Star Leaders Movement. Okay, I'll just talk. STAR stands for Standing Together, Agreeing, Representing Revolution. It's very important, I feel, that the young generation of millennials are able to stand together and motivate their community. But the one thing that I want to do is to stop this, but what I want to do is I want to bring the power to the people. I went through my life having a family full of educators, and I felt like the black sheep. Where do I fit in? Where is my part? I had the opportunity when current President Barack Obama was senator to work as an intern for him, as a community organizer. And then after my internship, I had the opportunity to become a full-time paid staff person. That opportunity changed my life. It redefined talent for me. It redefined community engagement and what's important. Through that opportunity, I was able to go out in Detroit and mobilize our barber and beauty shop, taking it to the people, mobilizing neighborhood teams to take control. And that's what this is about. I obviously understand the importance of working with our government leadership, but I understand the importance of being the people and uniting together. So it's a leadership development. It's a community partnership with the University of Michigan Dearborn, my university, and the students would be able to be exposed to everything the campus offers. And with the University of Michigan Dearborn, it also aligns the Ann Arbor campus and the Flint campus. It works with the Civic Engagement Office on campus. We have SOAR for non-traditional students. I'm involved in the American Association of University Women, which is the first student university organization period. We do NIC Whistle, which is a national conference for women in leadership. It also involves the male and having empowerment and being able to be on campus, to be involved in student organizations. I want to have a student partner week where you can come in on campus if you want to know about mathematics or science or education. Sit in the classroom for a week. Talk with the professors. See what they do, their career life. Give them exposure. Develop critical thinking skills. Students need so much more than just the opportunity to know and have a career day. They need consistent exposure and care. The community component is this. The students would work in Detroit. Our office is in Detroit, in your neighborhood. We will pick out different neighborhoods and you go there. You will know that on Monday and Wednesday, Shara is going to be at this school from this time to this time. Come in and meet with me. I will use everything I learned throughout my time organizing, canvassing, going door to door, saying, hi, how are you? My name is Shara Bennett. I want to tell you about our leaders. Are you interested? Getting people involved, engaging them to form neighborhood teams that can work and move regardless of when we're no longer working in that neighborhood. Although they will always have access, I want to show everyone in Detroit that you have the power. Everyone in this room is my partner. Everyone in this room is obviously committed and dedicated to the city. We all have something to give and can be a part. And that's why it's so important to me. For social media, we'll use Facebook, we will use anything, Twitter, Instagram. All of the students that are a part of this program will have pages where they tell you, we're having a community meeting here. We'll post in the grocery stores. We're going to go to the barber and beauty shops. We're going to work with the schools. We're going to work with the local business owners. We're going to work with everyone in the community to engage them and to tell people, if you own this store, can you tell people who your regulars, hey, Star Leaders is going to be here. You want to get involved, you want a community watch, you want a garbage pickup, this is whatever you want to do, this is your neighborhood. So I thank you very much for my time, and thank you so much. You are my partners, and let's stand together and agree and represent revolution.
Wonderful. We are the Global Youth Empowerment. That is the project that we have. Why do we say global? Because the only way that you can affect the globe is to start at home. What is our objective? It is to improve the lives of millennials through enrichment, empowerment, and education, further enhancing self-image, social awareness, and literacy of millennials.
Good afternoon. Before we begin, we want to actually just take a brief moment to thank Mobilize.org for their social awareness and for providing this platform for us to come together and share all of our ideas. Also, the keynote and guest speakers, want to thank them, and we also want to thank you guys for your passion and commitment to making Detroit a better place for us to all live. So now we're going to go into some quick statistics. 63% of youth suicides are linked to fatherless homes.
63%?
90% of all homeless children are from fatherless homes.
90%?
Children with fathers who are involved are 70% less likely to drop out of school.
70%.
And we want to address the why to this.
Why is that? One of the reasons is due to a lack of positive male role models and fathers. What type of effect does this have? Prisons, it takes $30,000 per year for an inmate. That is taken away from the economy. It is shown, based on an economic multiplier, that a student that goes to college brings in over $1 million through his lifetime, just by going to college. So this affects the economy in a dynamic way. How do we get more millennials to go to college and to stay out of prison? Males must be active in their lives. It's all about the males being active in their lives, and that is where we come in. What will we do?
Okay, so the IYEA, or the Global Youth Empowerment Association, is here to provide a strong support system through positive self-image, leadership, healthy lifestyle, literacy skills, and proper etiquette and creativity. Now we have fundamental workshops that will provide these type of opportunities for us, such as our creative clothing line. General, if you want to pull that out the bag. our creative clothing line gives the youth or the millennials the opportunity to create entrepreneurship through business. So we teach them resale and wholesale, the property and how they make money, and how they can also how they're also consumers, financial literacy and budget, also leadership skills, and we teach them through social interaction and social engagement. Sustainability. Changes made in the new behavior affects their decision-making skills, which ultimately affects their education and economics in Detroit. Through having a positive male influence, they themselves become positive role models and creates a domino effect that sustains itself. Now, our goal here, 4 males trying to work with the youth all together in the educational field. We have creative, innovative activities that they can do that they actually can relate to. That's what it's all about, relatability. We relate to the youth. That's why Bill likes to work with us on a consistent basis. So these guys come with a great idea with IYEA, Global Youth Empowerment, to do something. This is our clothing line. We started this from scratch, ground up. This is an example of something that we created ourselves. So we have them work with us, give us marketing ideas, slogans. How would you create your clothes line? Certain things that they are interested in. And then we relate it to our budget building, financial literacy, when they understand wholesale, retail. So it's a fundamental learning experience. Anything else?
What are some of the places that we have visited so far?
We actually just did a workshop, and some of our youth are here. Can we get some of our youth to raise their hands? This is the Osborne High School, so we did a workshop.
That they actually got to see themselves and do their own, build their own business. Now, right here, we're going to show you guys how our social networking has emerged over the last few years through new networks such as Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Will utilize the access to reach out to millions of people through a click of a button. So they'll be able to tell their testimonials through Twitter or Tumblr and actually tell about how they enjoyed the engagement with our new workshops.
Thank you very much.
4 years of starting in the 9th grade. From Gordon Lawrence Tech, I found that many students that come from DPS schools actually drop out after their first semester, which I think is very unfortunate. And there's also the lack of millennial involvement. We want to get involved, but we're often overlooked because of our age, or some people think we don't have a lot of experience.
We were raised in Detroit to do for ourselves and only for ourselves and not think about anyone else. At least that's how I was taught, and a lot of people had the same concept. Also, a lot of people don't see any benefits of actually getting involved. The lack of college preparedness has many effects for millennials like ourselves. It can increase costs of college because we have to take extra classes to get caught up. And also, it creates a rough time. So all that, it has a major impact and it's devastating.
Our objective, we want to inject this sense of love and professionalism into the schools.
We intend to use the youth as a formidable asset. The organization will tap into the minds of the community, the concept of millennials, to help better Detroit by using multiple projects and year-to-year projects. The projects will be led by professionals, which will use college and high school students. And the college students will mentor the high school students. And we will learn to accomplish things together as a group and until creative solutions for recurrent problems. Using core college curriculum and the mindset of different individuals, tapping into Detroit's full potential.
Inspecting Detroit with knowledge. Talking is one thing and doing is another.
The organization will lead small-scale projects and large-scale projects, and to address the problems of the communities. And we will use the community as a way of guidance and feedback by using different survey systems, and et cetera, and also by going around and creating meetings as well.
We're also going to use mentors. As Philip Cooley said, all boats rise with the tide. We want all the students to rise to a new standard, a high standard, personally and as a community. Mentors are going to help them get more involved with their community and their schools. Scope and creativity out of the youthful mind. These projects will help build on strengths both individually and as a team. As an engineer, I have to build with my team. I have to work with people with different minds from different backgrounds and different areas of expertise. I have to make sure I'm open-minded, and I have to also consider every aspect of the issue.
Defining the nature of the problem, and you have to define the nature of the problem in order to understand that we have to reach deeper than just the label.
Sometimes not it does the community. We want to make sure that we give them a voice. We are here to help conquer and succeed.
And how we plan to keep ourselves afloat. We are sponsored, we have an advisor at Lawrence Technological University to help us with different resources and provide different resources. We actually communicated with them before the summit. So at the time, right now, we can use them as a great asset as far as using computers and different things of that sort of technology-based systems. But also in the future, we plan on getting donations and applying for grants to get a location downtown, closer to downtown Detroit, because that's where it's at, and that's where we need a base where like-minded individuals and professional individuals can come and meet.
And we're also going to make sure that we use Facebook, Twitter, and Google advertising, mailing lists, local newspapers, applications, and this new thing called Wix.com to help us succeed. Thank you so much for your time.
Representative deserves a huge round of applause. And your amazing presentations process. So we're excited you're here to be with us do that. And we will be announcing ourselves after lunch. So we're going to take a quick break right now. Sugar and staff actually needs to be able to come in to set our tables. So if you wouldn't mind helping us to clear the room a little bit to give them a chance to do that, and we'll get tested applications and everyone complied. And we are going to be identifying 4 individuals to join our blogging team. These will be our Detroit iReporters, and you'll be able to follow them for a full year after the summit to hear what's happening on the ground here in Detroit, to continue these conversations in the online format, and to really lift up the voices and all the success stories of Detroit. So, when I call your name, if you could please come to the stage. We have Michael Kulik. So he can tell you all about how awesome this experience is. Oh, and I'm sorry, Cedric could not be with us today, so he's with us in spirit though.
And on the blog.
And on the blog, exactly. All right, let's give another round of applause. And for those of you who weren't selected, or if you are still interested in becoming a blogger or being involved in Mobilize's online publications, you can go ahead and contact Annie, and there are many other opportunities to be involved with our work, and so we definitely want you to be part of the Millennial Report and part of our online community. And in fact, we also have information about that workbook that I mentioned yesterday, so we have information about that too on how to join that community. So there's lots of ways to stay in touch with Mobilize online. So now I'm guessing we're ready for the big winners, right? Maybe, so what I'm thinking is, how about we do a drum roll? Right. So, coming in place, we have student voice from the classroom to the Capitol. Coming in fourth place, Global Youth Empowerment. All right. All right, coming in, wait, where's my drum roll? Coming in third place, Children of the Village in Urban
You guys are perfectly positioned.
And so I think all the projects, no, I know all the projects do an amazing job. We have really great high scores across the board, which we're preparing to share with you, since we do want to be, as we said before, transparent in the process. So if you can see that everyone received really great scores. All of you had such great ideas, and so what I think this really shows us is that just because they weren't in the top 5 doesn't mean that you don't still have the potential to go out there and get funding. And Mobilize wants to be here to support you in doing that. So if you weren't one of the winners, please let us know how we can help you and continue this idea. And I encourage all of you to help each other think of how you can see these projects through, because they're really going to. You're the ones who are going to change Detroit, right? So we need you here to be on the ground doing that work. So how about another round of applause for everyone? So this next portion of the days is, if I haven't made you cry yet, this is when you're going to start crying, I promise. Because it's almost time to say goodbye. But before we do, we want to do what's called our commitment to action. Has anyone ever been to an event before where you did this? You made a commitment to action? No? Okay, that's good, because I think this is something that's really unique to Mobilize, in that we have such an empowering movement, right? Who feels empowered? Who feels like they have a voice? What are you going to do with that? Do you know? Because we have all been talking so much this weekend about all these amazing ideas. We've all been developing new partnerships. We've been collaborating with people. We've been talking about how we're going to change Detroit. And the best way that we can do that is to really take a stand and say, we are going to act, and here's how we're going to do it. So we actually have sheets that we're going to pass around, and we'd like you to share your commitments, to write down, because I don't know about you, but if I don't write something down, I'm not going to remember it. So write down your commitments, and then we will invite you to share those with us, and we'll be able to pass around the mic. And in addition, we're going to quickly vote on, you recall at the very beginning of the summit, we voted on how empowered you felt before you came here. So we're going to do that again, but this time we want to see what the changes from the beginning of the summit to now. So, just to have these conversations, you can see already we feel so much better about what we can do in our community. So this dialogue process is a great way to help get people there, and I hope that you'll employ some of the skills that you used this weekend and continue to work with everyone and be this impact. So, does anyone have a commitment that they'd like to share with the room, or any general comments about your experience this weekend? This is the open mic time. I know some of you have something to say.
this conversation on our own and do like monthly mixers with all of us. Jay already started sending out Facebook invites, so if you guys don't have, or if you do have Facebooks and you haven't got that invite, make sure he gets that information just so we stay in the same circuit. Also, Cooley mentioned the issue about sharing space. So for those that, I also want to mention that we did not win, however, they did mention that failure isn't failure. It's the opportunity of humbling yourself and becoming better the next time. So for those of you that didn't win, we're winning anyway because of all the information that we pulled out of this and all of the network that we pulled out of this and all of the possible investing and everything else. So don't walk away feeling like a loser. Feel really empowered because all of these ideas were really amazing. It's just we didn't articulate them to the best of our ability. So with that, I really want us all to create a space where we all share ideas on a regular, and maybe we can take one of these abandoned buildings and turn them into our own home and incorporate the passion class and everybody's ideas. And this just shouldn't be the end. It should not be the end, and we should feel empowered, and we should empower each other on a regular basis. So
just add for us to start doing more action. The forums are cool to talk about the issues and everything, but we want to start doing more action, actually taking some initiative.
And just to piggyback off of what he just said, I feel that action is probably the most important part of us gathering here today. So with that being said, I would like to, I guess, initiate the possibilities of all of us through some type of Facebook group to commit to actions together and help each other build towards making our dreams and our visions an actual reality. For probably everybody in this room, I know somebody directly that can help you today with whatever it is that you want to do. My past, I'd like to think of myself as an educator. So whatever it is, we study all the stuff in school, but there's actually a way to connect science to arts between Michigan State, U of M, and Wayne State University. Just Google it and go from there. Don't just sit on it, actually do something. Talking is fine, but talk is cheap. It's not going to get you paid. It's not going to get anybody you know the help that they need unless you actually physically go out and do it and get it done. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. First off, I want to say a big thank you to everybody for voting for us. I know that student voice isn't going to be possible unless everybody works together here, and especially people who are working with the youth right now. Please come find me in Chelsea afterwards. We have our contact information. But also, being another competition, I need to give myself a little shout out. I'm in the Challenge Detroit Fellowship Program. I'm in the final. So is Brandy. Brandy Keeler. You can look for me, you can vote for me. Today is the last day to vote. I'm like right in the fringe, so is Brandy, so any help you guys can give us. It's on Facebook. I'm Mike Kulick, K-U-L-I-C-K, or you can check it out on my website, michaelkulick.net. It's a pretty big link up there, so it's a pretty easy situation. And Brandy as well, and I'm thinking we might have one or two other people in here as well, but yeah, I'd really appreciate it because it'll give me a job down here. And yeah, right. And I want to build, right? And this is the first step in creating that process, and I'm really, really excited. I think the energy here has been amazing, and I'm really excited to come to a conference in Detroit where Detroiters are here, and it's one of those things that can be a miss sometimes when people are organizing. So I really thank everybody again for your votes, and yeah, have a great rest of the weekend.
My name is Aaron Vincent. I was connected to this organization through Brightmore Alliance as well. I really appreciate all the networking. It's exciting to see what's happening in the city of Detroit, Michigan, as well as our Metro Detroit area. I just appreciate all the fire and excitement about making change, especially on the volunteer status. When you volunteer, it takes a lot of resources to get this stuff done, but when you volunteer, then that's your passion. And I just feel like everybody in this room is a leader at their own right, and we are the people that we're ready for. My commitment for me is not to just allow time to continue to lead without sharing every resource and every skill that I have with being committed to our community. With that being said, I got two more things I want to say. I just want to let everybody know that they should go as far as they can go. Go as far as you can go. When you get there, you'll see further. That's one thing I want to say. Somebody told me that one time. And then we're one idea away from. See, it's not it's not a shortage of money. It's just a shortage of idea. So you one idea away from, you know what I'm saying, getting that resort you need. You one idea from making change in the community too as well. Also, I'm connected with, my name is Aaron Vincent, I'm connected with Community Connections. So I just wanted to share with you guys, as far as Community Connections is concerned, we do up to $5,000 of grants every month. Up to $5,000 grants every month for organizations in the Detroit metro area. We do this on a monthly basis. The grant is a grassroots grant organization. We're funded by Skillman Foundation as well as Kellogg. Last month, out of 6 years of being a part of this organization, we just gave away our $2 million. So the money is here. Individuals who didn't actually receive this grant and those individuals that did receive this challenge. Also, I networked with a couple people. I just wanted to say I don't want y'all to let my story or my information that I share with you, if I didn't get a chance to share the information with you, give my card, but I don't want to go over your head and miss, another opportunity. Opportunities are everywhere. So with that being said, organizations that we deal with 5 different neighborhoods in Detroit, Michigan, more the at-risk neighborhoods, Brightmoor being one that I'm from. That's the one I represent, but there's like 4 or 5 more areas that each one, I talk to every individual here and they have some connection to one of these neighborhoods. So I just express my gratitude to you guys, and I just reach out my hand and say, come and receive the help that we have to offer. So I just want to thank y'all.
I just want to thank everyone for your votes. I really appreciate that so much. I just want to thank Mobilize.org, and I just wanted to say that I've been so inspired from each person I met and just hearing everyone's stories, and that I really meant what I said, that the movement, this is a collective vision of everyone's vision. I look so forward to supporting each and every person. If you reach out to me, I mean that. Any way I can help, I look so forward to working together, to collaborating, and just to furthering this goal, because it's a competition, but I feel that Detroit is such a great, I'm just so excited, and I just look forward to seeing what happens.
Inspiration and Inspired has gone around a lot this weekend, and I've been inspired by various people here, and I didn't get a chance to meet everybody, but just your presence and energy has been very inspiring. But something specifically, I know we just got off the subject of the youth here, but the high school students that I've met here, some of them aren't even technically millennials within that bracket, but I've been very inspired by some of the students that I've met from high school. I'm getting emotional, sorry. Because millennials is something that exists, but it will move with us. So as we grow older, we'll still be millennials, just like the baby boomers. They're not babies anymore, but that generation has grown and gone on. And I just would like to thank specifically the high school students that are here, the students and the children that are here and taking part of this. Because you are what we're working, you people, your age is what we're working to build for. I mean, obviously we're building for ourselves, but we need you to take what we're doing and carry that into your future. So I really thank you and for being here, and I'm very inspired that you're here.
I don't think okay, here we go. Sorry. I'd like to thank all of you for coming out and actually being here, because it's a fun experience. I mean, I enjoyed myself. Being able to actually communicate your thoughts with other people that are, have similar goals is actually really fun. And I don't have the opportunity where I'm from, and also in the school that I attend, because people don't have similar interests like I do. But seeing that all of you have similar goals is kind of like inspiring to me to try to connect with each and all of you, because we all have common interests. And I want to say congratulations to those who won, and congratulations to those who are inspired to go do something new, because this is where it's at. And I just want to say keep going.
Okay. I guess I keep harping on the same point, but I think it's really important, so I'm going to mention it again. I think it's really important to be intentional about the revitalization in Detroit and making sure that it's inclusive and it's mindful of some of the things that Michelle mentioned about like structural racism and making sure that, I mean, I myself am suburban, you know, and I think that some of the things that I've gone to in the past that involve Detroit are kind of monopolized by like what suburban people think about what should happen to Detroit, and I think that that's a very skewed way of looking at it. There needs to be a balance. I think that the suburbs are important, obviously, but I think that there needs to be kind of an open dialogue between the suburbs and the people who live in the city of Detroit about what revitalization means and how do we make sure that it's
real what
inclusive.
they're talking about. We have to listen to the youth so that we can know things that we should improve on. So we have to listen. But I just wanted to say that what we must make sure to do is, whether we have money for these programs or not, whatever is able to be done without the funds, we have to just start to do it. Yeah. You know, the children are just waiting on us to do something. Like they're waiting on the adults to be great so that they can reach their greatness. So until we decide that we're going to be more than just mediocre, every day, same thing, come home, watch TV, wait to retire, we have to put into action so that the youth can see that that is important for what they
Essentially, I have a nonprofit mentoring program for young girls in grades 6 through 12. Yeah, anyway. Is anybody in here familiar with the Lift Detroit Black Tie Gala?
Yes.
Okay, a few. Okay, so I'm on the planning committee for that. And if you went to it last year was the first event, and we're having another one this next month, May 18th, at the Detroit Historical Museum. But what we've decided, like through brainstorming and planning for this event, we realized that, like, yeah, we get together and we look nice and we come up with a bunch of ideas, but then we go back to our respective industries and just wait until the next event the following year. So what we're doing is we're having a pre-lift event May 9th at D-Hive. It's kind of essentially what we did here. You know, a bunch of millennials or young entrepreneurs get together, brainstorm ideas, but then actually go out and do
ways that we can help you in fulfilling those actions is by holding each other accountable. So we'll be able to share those collectively and see all of the amazing things that are going to come out of this weekend. We also, of course, the whole weekend through our voting have been tracking your ideas, and so I want to let you know that we'll be producing a report with that information so that you can take it back to your college administrators, to the neighborhood leaders that you work with, to the schools, to the different community leaders that you know, and share that information and show them how much innovation there is, and not only in this room, but in among all millennials in Detroit, and how we need those ideas in order to move this community forward. So I hope that, please let Mobilize know if there's anything else we can do to be helpful in helping you fulfill your actions, and thank you all for taking the time to share those with us. Thank you for sharing your feedback. We also passed around the evaluation form, so that's a great place where you can share that feedback, because we're constantly looking for ways to improve it. Definitely we'll take your ideas with us and definitely implement them in the future. So first, I also wanted to make sure that we acknowledged all of our table facilitators from yesterday. So if you're a table facilitator, can you please come to the stage? Appreciation for you, so I want to thank you for that. Everyone who made this event possible. So the supporters from this event include the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, the Marjorie S. Fisher Foundation, the Community Foundation for Southeast Michigan, and Pearson, one of our partners. We have Viacom as one of our partners, and the Women Foundation for Education. So let's give them all a round of applause. With that, I do have a couple of quick announcements to make. So first of all, I know I've seen some of you have been working really hard on your state investment proposals, so I'm very excited to read all those, and the team will be taking them back with us to DC to look over the next week. So if, as a reminder, as soon as the summit closes, if you could please bring your seed investment, either your written proposal to the registration table to turn in, or if you had typed it up, you can email it if you want to address the travel reimbursement form. Those are available at registration as well. So I hate ending on just logistical notes, so I will leave you with one thought, and that is to think big, start small, and act now.